Join us on Monday, December 15th, 7 p.m. inside the Bram Goldsmith Theater at the Wallace in Beverly Hills for Soul of the Holidays, a joyful night of Motor City soul, gospel, and holiday classics featuring an 18-piece band, all-star vocalists, and community choirs, all in support of the Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund. This performance comes at a pivotal time for many in Altadena and Pasadena. This is their first holiday season since the devastating Altadena Eden Canyon fire, which destroyed homes and community spaces. While the physical losses are immense, the power of community remains, and your attendance directly supports recovery, resilience, and renewal. So, be sure to join us Monday, December 15th, 7 p.m. inside the Bram Goldsmith Theater at the Wallace in Beverly Hills for Soul of the Holidays, benefiting survivors of the Altadena Eden Canyon fire. For ticket information, just log on to tickets@thewallace.org. That's tickets@thewallace.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580 and the Black Freedom Fund.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. I'm gonna tell you what, I love it when Mariah Carey used to go bone in her song. Mariah makes you expand your vocabulary. She absolutely uses SAT words in her writing. She does. She does. Think about some of the words she uses in rhymes. Breakdown was one of my joints. Shout out to Andy for always being on theme. Because we have some things to talk about tonight on KBLA Talk 1580. You are locked in with Jill Munroe here for your entertainment rundown. Yes.
You got some things to break down.
I got some things to break down. Because Andy's always on theme. I do get it. I get it. I get it. We're all locked in. Muni Long, Suki, breaking you down. Break down. Boom, 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 boom. This was my joint. I'm telling you, Butterfly, the album, because that's where this was on, is the album that I became a lamb.
Low-key, I feel like that was her peak.
Really?
I feel like that was like her confessions. Or maybe not her peak, but just like the extra level, the ascension, you know what I'm saying?
I think what was so big about the Butterfly album was that we had heard Mariah with rappers a little bit, obviously Fantasy and ODB, but this was her post-divorce album when she and Tommy Mottola were separated, I think finally divorced, and the shackles were gone, so Mariah was free to be. I remember back in the day when Mariah was talking about listening to Wu-Tang Clan, I didn't believe her. I was like, no way. Mariah Carey's not listening to Wu-Tang.
Wow.
So that was when she got down into her, her urban wares, so to speak. That album was very R&B, very black for Mariah at that time.
Very bad boy.
Very bad boy quoted, yes. I mean, the Honey video was amazing. You know, the breakdown video was amazing.
Legendary.
So, it was what transformed me to just, I like Mariah. She has some good songs, too. Oh, I think I'm a lamb now. Yeah.
Mariah Carey needs a documentary.
Well, she had her memoir come out, I think it was last year. I'm sure there'll be but she's kind of private, right?
Okay.
She's talked about some things. I mean, you know.
I think, it's another bag just in case.
I mean, indeed.
Like she has a story.
She definitely does. I worked on the Glitter project. That was when she signed to Virgin. At the time, it was the biggest female artist signing, and it was done to kind of, internally kick some dust on Janet. And that was a time. She had a breakdown during that period, and it was a lot happening. But justice for Glitter.
Michael Jackson spoke about Mariah Carey before. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't.
Yo, go on YouTube. Michael Jackson, he was on concert, I believe, and he was like, everybody had their fans up, their phones up, and then he was like, yo, please put your phones down. Please put your phones down. What I'm about to tell you guys, I don't want it to be public. It ended up being public, but make a long story short, he was talking about how Mariah Carey used to call Michael Jackson on a nightly basis crying, talking about Tommy Mottola. And Michael Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, he was talking about how Tommy Mottola is the devil. That's why I'm just over here, like, I'm curious to know that dynamic.
What she went through?
Yeah.
Got to tap into her, in that memoir. She revealed some things. She revealed some things over time, how he was very controlling, didn't want to let her loose. We also went through that whole thing with the sample where he took Mariah's sample that she was working on and gave it to J-Lo for, what song was it that J-Lo had the sample before Mariah? I think it was, I want to say, was it Firecracker? It was, I can't remember. I'll think of it and I'll share it with you. And then J-Lo ended up coming up with the song, and it was all this drama. But listen, first off, I haven't gotten into all the stuff that we're talking about tonight. You know it's going to be crazy, right? Of course you do. But let me just give a happy birthday shout out, not to a person, but to a project. Okay. November 24th, so I should have done it last night, but I'm doing it tonight. 1992, a West Coast classic that redefined alternative hip-hop dropped, recorded largely at Hollywood Sound Studios. Bizarre Ride Part 2 from The Far Side dropped 30 years ago. So, Far Side was my homies back in the day. They were dancers before they were rappers. We all used to be in the same scene with Alex Thomas and a bunch of other people dancing. So, big ups to them. And I thought I would, shout out this album because it did really, at that time period, when people thought of West Coast hip-hop, you know what they thought of, a gangsta boogie. And here come these alternative rapper dancer guys, kind of left of center. And, Passing Me By was a huge hit. So was Your Mama. And what's the other one? Boom, 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 boom. It was a single after that. Next album. Can't remember, but shout out to that. Critics praised the album for its humor, jazz-influenced production, and like I mentioned, the contrast to gangsta rap. It peaked at number 75 on the Billboard 200. So you got to think this is when hip-hop was sort of in its infancy. It wasn't quite a teen yet. It was still growing up. So shout out to them. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into all of these trending topics and headlines. I have some cancellations, some new things dropping, all of the info that you need just in time for the holidays. Why not? You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind the scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming? Listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Everyday penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077. 800-919-9077.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. We want to speak directly to our listeners in Altadena and all across Southern California. Recently, we invited Southern California Edison to join a town hall so fire survivors could ask questions and get clear information about the Altadena Eaton fire and this so-called settlement fund. Weeks before the event, the law firm originally connected to the program withdrew, and we provided SCE updated materials confirming those changes. But despite that, SCE later stated publicly and privately that they were pulling out of the town hall because plaintiffs' attorneys were participating. That was not accurate, and SCE knew that it was not accurate. But when shown documentation that disproved their claim, SCE ignored it and declined to correct the record. At KBLA Talk 1580, trust is not an option. It is the foundation of our work and witness. It is the promise that we make to you. And so we will not move forward with any partnership that misrepresents the facts or undermines the credibility that we have built in love and service to this beloved community. Our commitment remains with the good people of Altadena. We will continue providing independent, verified information to support your recovery without interference from any outside entity, including Southern California Edison, so you don't get burned twice. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. All right, so let me break down what we're getting into tonight. We've got diva rappers being a little petty, rappers being bold, always, Netflix bringing back your childhood, and Lizzo's asking some real questions about body invisibility. Maybe depending on who you ask, but we'll see. So grab your snacks, silence that thread, no interruptions, and let's get into all of this. First up, if at any point you want to join the conversation, 800-920-1580. We are available on social media everywhere. Hit us up, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill. Download the app, catch up on past episodes, and get the visual to go along with this audio experience in the YouTube chat. The VIPs are very friendly. They are chatty. They are talking. They have a lot of conversation. So join up. All right. So first up, I'm a little sad about this because I'm not understanding what's going on. I feel like they've given a lot of rope to other shows, but Netflix is canceling Starting Five. That is the show that gave you an inside look for a whole season on various NBA stars. Season 1 had LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Ant Edwards, what's the guy? Sabonis, his dad played in Portland. What's his first name? No, what's the son's name? I know it's Arvydas Sabonis, but
Domantas Sabonis.
Domantas, that's his name. Yeah, is he still with SAC? I think so.
He's still with SAC.
Okay, so yeah, that was the first season. Season 2 was Katie, James Harden. I don't remember who else. Oh, my boy, whose name I always jack up, Tyrese Halliburton. Shout out to you. Yeah. But Netflix is like, nope, bye, see ya. So, it was highly anticipated, but apparently it didn't have a strong enough audience to support renewing it. So there you go.
I mean, man, there's so much stuff on Netflix.
It really is. Everything's on Netflix.
Live sports. I mean, y'all got other sports documentaries on there. It's gonna be challenging.
Well, we'll have to see what develops. But Netflix has something else for you in the live department. And I hope you're ready for it. It's a blast from our childhood. They're rewinding the clock and hitting us with nostalgia. Star Search is returning to TV in 2026 via Netflix live with not Ed McMahon, but Anthony Anderson as the host. And we, the audience, will be able to vote in real time. It's premiering January 13th. It will be live Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And, global votes. So some of the original Star Search alumni, of course, we have Aaliyah, Beyonce was on there, Britney Spears, Adam Sandler, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Dave Chappelle. They all graced the Star Search stage. Oh, Countess Vaughn. How can I forget Countess Vaughn? And there's many others. So did I say Tracy Spencer? Was Tracy Spencer on Star Search? I think so. So the original run was from 1983 to 1985. And it's back, baby. Netflix is diving into the live events business hardcore. So will you be tuning in? We'll have to see. Okay, so listen. Where do we go? Where do we start? So we talked about a few weeks back a Mariah Carey interview where she was discussing the tribute show that happened. I think it was it the Radio 1 Awards? Something. But Mariah basically, much like Shaka Khan and some others, said, when it comes down to it, she doesn't like people performing her songs. And there were questions during the initial show whether or not Mariah's look was unhappiness when Muni Long was singing, I believe it was We Belong Together, right? Well, it feels like Muni Long might be getting it back in blood with some shade of her own, right? Two can play the shade game, I suppose. So in a new video for her single, Delulu, right? Muni Long has a Mariah Carey impersonator. And it was an iHeart tribute performance. And I don't know if this is a polite diva standoff or what. The woman in the video is thicker. Now, we know Mariah's curvy right now, but this woman is also thicker. And she is uttering some of Mariah's famous moments of shade. But what's going on, girl? Muni, what are you doing? It was the 2024 iHeart Awards where Muni performed that. And in the GQ interview, Mariah said, I love Muni, but I didn't even know the performance happened. And she added, which I said, I just don't like when people sing my songs. So initially, Muni was very gracious about it. She said Mariah's a legend. But now the promo comes and the Mariah look-alike is living the struggle life, I feel, ever so slightly, right? Now, the video ends with Muni quoting Mariah, I just don't like when people sing my songs. And, people think that Muni is mocking Mariah. She doubled down, though, with a follow-up skit, and fake Mariah comes to the rehearsal. She playfully pushes her, and the caption said, she could push me off every ledge. I love her. But Muni clarified, y'all don't be Delulu. I would never disrespect Queen Mariah, forever a lamb. I need you to get out there and go look at this video and tell me if I am missing the love, the homage, the adornment in this spot. Because I don't understand it. I don't understand, if it's not shade, what it is supposed to be. And, we can only think back to not too long ago with Carrie Hilson, how it turns out. Again, let me be clear. I am not saying to not speak your piece, or if you feel you were mistreated by a celeb, a star artist, or they were disrespectful, speak up. Say what you got to say and do it with your chest. However, this seems I'm not sure what it seems to be, right? But I feel like Money has been kind of getting some interesting feedback from some of her commentary as of late. And, you know, it might be not a great time to try this experiment. That's all I'm saying. Andy?
Sounds like the female ego. It's very fragile.
On which side? Hers or?
Both.
So you don't think Mariah should be like, this is a little shady?
I don't know.
Mariah's shady. I'm not ignoring that.
Like, she just, like, come on. Some people are paying homage, you know? And I get you don't like people singing your songs, but I just feel like when it comes to art, what do they say? Mockery? Mockery is the form. Imitation, excuse me, is the, you know.
Sincerest form of flattery.
You feel me?
But is it, though?
She singing your song?
Yeah.
And wasn't this supposed to be a tribute or something like that?
It was a tribute performance.
And you over here with the Fucci face? Like, come on, they honoring you, bruh.
I know, but Prince did the same. Remember Prince when Trey Songz was singing Purple Rain?
That was grimy too. I just don't understand. Like, you're going to this tribute thing. They're honoring you. Do you guys not know that these artists are not going to perform your songs? Like,
don't you want to hear them in key or I don't know. Let me just
If that's the case, then you probably need to be rehearsing with them to make sure that they sound official. Other than that, you're Mariah Carey.
Just accept it and keep it moving.
Ain't nobody gonna sound like you. Come on now.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I mean, the Lambs aren't the Beehive, right? They're not the Barbs, but they might bite too. Who knows? I just might handle it a little differently, right? But we'll see. Mariah's camp is extremely protective over her likeness, though. So I'm just curious, is this textbook faux feud as promo? Or, you know, is it really a bit of a controversy, but I'm going to keep it cute, right? I don't know. Maybe the shade is the way to the stream. Right? There's always a shade tree by a stream. So we'll take it and we'll see what develops from there. Shout out to both, though. Yeah, I just don't know if I would shade the queen, the legend. But do you? Okay. Speaking of, right? Is Sukihana considered a rapper or is she a social media personality? Like, what do we consider Suki with the good cookie? Dr. Umar's favorite, Ray J's, almost 100K monthly. So he says, spend. What do we consider it?
I'm going to say rapper.
Okay. Well, Suki recently sat down with Justin LaBoy and she was having a conversation about authenticity. And for whatever reason, she brought up Saweetie. Now, listen, she said the Icy Girl needs to be more authentic, right? And live in her truth. But not that that is the wrong advice to give. Of course, you want everybody to be themselves, right? However, I kind of feel a little way, ever so slightly, about the way that she framed it. And we're going to listen to it. There's going to be a lot of bleeps. But we'll get into why I'm like, let's put a pin in this, Suki, when we get through listening.
Did you ever sold before, though, for real? Like, serious question? Or you just, it makes good music?
Yeah. All these stuff, all of them, especially these rap. Like, Saweetie, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not even trying to be funny or like, Saweetie, people will really f with you more if you just live in your truth, because a lot of the ghetto girls like me, well, a lot of the girls, the black community, everybody, they be trying to get into you, and that the reason why they like double dutch, like they jump in, they jump out, because they don't believe you. So when you be making your bops, they be like, they be thinking that you like a fake ghetto girl, and it's just because they can't figure you out. And it's like, if you selling that, whatever you doing, like, that's what you do. Right. But you just need to say what the you doing, because that little bit of authenticity that they don't feel like you give it, like, they want that from you, whatever you is. Like, you keep saying you're a Cancer, that's all. We need more than that. If you selling that, you selling that.
Yeah. should just stop rapping and just say, hey, I sell.
No. I don't think she should stop. I don't think she should stop rapping. I just feel like, just living your truth, whatever the it is that you do.
Right.
Whether you that vibe, whatever the people do, just live in your truth. That's why I got fans, because I say what I did. I know what the fuck I did. Can't nobody ever really call me out on nothing, because I already said it. I already did it.
No, I love that you live in your truth.
Yeah.
So what it costs?
I don't sell anymore.
Oh, you used
so
to?
when I was in the hood, you feel me?
Okay.
Yeah, like
in the hood. Okay. you rich now.
Yeah, but everybody. I feel like at the end of the day, that some of these be put money on the counter type, like on the dresser type of, and then some of these be like, oh, court me, or getting flued out. You feel me? And then that's all in the same circle.
Right.
All of it.
So there's a couple of things here. I'm going to push back that every black girl's experience is, and again, this is no shade, no tea, but every black girl is double dutching with wanting to put the coochie for product. I'm not going to stand by that. If you choose to do that, I'm not throwing shade at you. I am just not going to cast that light on all black women and say that's universally what's going on. Nor am I going to say that ghetto-ness is a universal trait for black women. And I get it. I'm not removing it. I'm not saying it doesn't count. I'm just saying we got to broaden the idea of what blackness is and not box that in to selling cat and being ghetto. Okay? There are other ways to relate to people. When we come forward, we're going to get more into this, plus more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
That's why you mad. Like a champion when he put the perk on my. Know you up and down there gon' go. I'm twerking on your baby daddy. He finna my. I'm looking sexy. I'm looking fine. No broke boys can't waste my time. My thumb showing my poking my. I need a panty line. Hood rats, they love the hood rats. Hood rats, they love the hood rats.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. A judge tossed federal cases against former FBI Director James Comey and Black New York Attorney General Letitia James. Comey called the case malevolent, while James said she's heartened and called the charges baseless.
I know that Donald Trump will probably come after me again, and my attitude's going to be the same.
Both say Trump's pick for U.S. attorney was unlawful. The Los Angeles Police Department is disputing rumors about the death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez found in a Tesla linked to Black singer David. Police say her body was not decapitated or frozen despite TMZ reports. The coroner's records are under a security hold at LAPD's request while the case is investigated. And 84-year-old civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson has been released from the hospital in stable condition. He was admitted for monitoring after being diagnosed with a neurological disorder. His family denies reports that he was ever on life support. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The holiday rush is on for sure. Very heavy traffic everywhere. A lot of people leaving now and tomorrow, today and tomorrow, to get out of town. Meanwhile, Woodland Hills, there's a crash in the two right lanes on the 101 northbound before Topanga Boulevard. And just a heads up, if you are headed to LAX, reports of some protesters on Century Boulevard. So please allow plenty of extra time to get to the airport.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron is facing a strong challenge to keep alive a significant milestone in his record-setting career. Because he missed the Lakers' first 14 games, he cannot miss more than 3 games the rest of the season to remain eligible for postseason honors. NBA rules require players to play at least 65 regular season games. LeBron, who turns 41 on December 30th, will play in his third game tonight against the Clippers at Crypto.com. The milestone in jeopardy is LeBron's streak of 21 consecutive years of being named to the All-NBA team. The issue for LeBron and the Lakers medical staff is how they're going to handle the 11 back-to-back games remaining on the Lakers schedule. Considering LeBron's age and his recovery from a back injury, it might be difficult to keep him in the lineup for most of the Lakers' remaining 62 games. Something to keep an eye on as LeBron nears the end of a remarkable career. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Celebrate the soul of the holidays and support Altadena and Pasadena. Join us on Monday, December 15th, 7 p.m. inside the Bram Goldsmith Theater at the Wallace in Beverly Hills for Soul of the Holidays, a joyful night of Motor City Soul, gospel, and holiday classics featuring an 18-piece band, all-star vocalist, and community choirs, all in support of the Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund. This performance comes at a pivotal time for many in Altadena and Pasadena. This is their first holiday season since the devastating Altadena Eden Canyon fire, which destroyed homes and community spaces. While the physical losses are immense, the power of community remains, and your attendance directly supports recovery, resilience, and renewal. So, be sure to join us Monday, December 15th, 7 p.m. inside the Bram Goldsmith Theater at the Wallace in Beverly Hills for Soul of the Holidays, benefiting survivors of the Altadena Eden Canyon fire. For ticket information, just log on to tickets@thewallace.org. That's tickets@thewallace.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580 and the Black Freedom Fund.
Cedars-Sinai is helping shape the future of Los Angeles, working alongside local communities and showing up with resources and healthcare programs that open doors for people across the city. Through career development programs like Next Gen Healthcare Pathways and partnerships with over 200 organizations like Black Men in White Coats, Cedars-Sinai is educating and empowering future healthcare leaders right here in LA. With access to education, mentorships, and hands-on experiences, we can build a healthier Los Angeles together. Cedars-Sinai, here for LA. Metro is teaming up with the Neighborhood Nip Foundation and the Think Watts Foundation for their first inaugural turkey giveaway. On Tuesday, November 25th from noon to 4 at Neighborhood Nip Foundation headquarters, formerly Marathon Store, come pick up your free turkey while supplies last. Take the Metro K line and get off at Hyde Park Station. The Neighborhood Nip Foundation building is just 1 block away.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thing he's found. If she is bad
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Happy heavenly birthday. Can we say Sad Gang? Sad Gang, Percy Sledge. When did this song come out, Andy? In the 60s? Did every decade, did we just lose a little bit of, emoting those emotions?
100%. 1965.
So what's that, 60 years ago?
Man.
Sheesh.
We went from Suki to Percy.
Such is the circle of life. I saw a question here. Morris Phillips said, well, not a question, a comment in the chat says, Jill, be fair. You're an educated black woman in America, the top of the food chain. Homegirl's never read a book. Listen to her. So here's the thing. You don't have to read a book to know about what you should be doing as far as policing your kitty, right? Like whether it's up for sale or how that lines up. Do what you need to do, right? If that's what you want to do or that's how you run your relationships, that's your business. That's your right. I'm not judging from that perspective because we each have our own path. But what I am saying is that I am not going to say that the black experience for most black girls is ghetto and, about selling cat. I'm just not going to subscribe to that. Even if you know about it, even if we may play rap about it in our moments when we're gangsters on songs, singing Meg, singing Cardi, singing whomever, that doesn't mean that that's real life. And I'm not going to stand on that. I stand on you being able to do whatever you want to do, but I'm not standing that that is the reality for all black women.
Unfortunately, for some women who are involved in that type of lifestyle, I think those are the women that she's obviously speaking to.
Right.
Because, you know what I'm saying, there are some women out there who, be doing they thug thizzle but trying to act like they not. And she just like, yo, just be yourself.
I mean, I get
in
that.
In that regard.
I get that. I think so. But I also think like people are going to get mad at me. Using Saweetie as an example, right? Like that, oh, people don't like her because they don't feel like she's authentic. Is that it? Or is it just they feel like she's lazy as far as her career goes and doesn't put stuff into it? Or they don't like her bops? I kind of think it's just a matter of opinion that they're just not feeling the music. Like, and I told you, I think she makes pretty girl getting ready to go out music, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm the cute chick. I'm popping, period, poo. And we move along, right? And I'm not mad at it. It's not mad, for everybody. And you got a little ego in it. Yeah. Pay me, adorn me, booski. And I don't think that Saweetie is inauthentic. I feel like that her version, I guess, of Bougetto, if that's what we want to call it or whatever, especially being a West Coast girl, I think sometimes is looked at differently, especially being a light-skinned mixed Blasian chick.
What that mean?
I think that people look at, like, Janae has a certain bit of hood swag to her, right? That's on, her set she often throws up, right?
She embraces her freakiness, though. I'll tell you that.
And she's holistic and she's all of those things, right? So I feel like sometimes people don't, if they have limited exposure, they don't understand LA hood or West Coast hood, especially when you're talking about Blasian girls or if they're light-skinned mixed chicks, quote, quote. I think that gets a little complicated in the conversation at times, So, I don't know. Shout out to all of that. I do feel like, there are people that feel like they can't connect with Saweetie sometimes, but I don't think that you should have to tell your personal business or everything that's going on in order to make connections with fans.
As a fan of anything that you like, do you feel like you should connect with said music artist, said actor just to be a fan of? Can't you just like the art? I don't need to feel like I need to.
I totally feel you on that. Like, that's how we grew up. But I think this generation is very different. And they want to identify in a different way with their artists, with their actors. They want to make sure that they share community, so to speak, right? They want to really feel, I think that they're so exposed to them. These parasocial relationships are kind of crazy. They really think that's their homie. You know, they really believe that. And I think that it impacts how, you know, just like there's always been fans. We know the word stan came from Eminem's song. That's only been, 25 years ago that has come out. But I feel as though social media has given people an identity through their love and fandom of certain artists, and they won't move off that square. They feel it entitles them to something. They feel like they have to defend them, even in moments when they're not all the way right. Like their life depends on it. Like something is going to move in their world. And I think it is something that is very unique that we've seen come up in this most recent generation as of late.
Not relatable, but I feel like Steve Smith, we talked about it a couple days. I feel like he kind of alluded to that. You know? So I'm not about to apologize to y'all just because I'm this public figure or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, fall back.
I really think that people are too invested in the lives of, they don't just take the product that they give. You know, entertainers are there to entertain us, not to be our role models, not to lay out our moral compass, not to chart a path for us to follow. It's nice if you can connect in those ways, and perhaps their story does, but I think the expectation that you need to relate and connect to these people and believe it is crazy.
You know what it is, too? A lot of us, not a lot of us, some of us live boring lives.
These are facts.
And they live vicariously through these individuals. And I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, that attachment is so strong.
I mean, and I feel that. I think that you are 100% right on that. But to me, these parasocial relationships that are dictating how you move in your real life so very much is a little bit crazy. Just a little bit. Especially when most of these people aren't serving it up on a block, getting flued out, or getting sent 75 bands for Lord knows what from Ray J. You know? Is that in your movements? Probably not. So, what type of connection? Again, not saying I don't understand or that it's wrong, just the over codependency, it feels like, you know? It's just weird. I don't know. When we come forward, more trending topics than headlines.
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Days after the Eaton fire devastated entire neighborhoods in Pasadena and Altadena, Black Freedom Fund, an organization that invests in leaders and organizations transforming black communities, established the Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund. The Black LA Relief and Recovery Fund is supporting local organizations, providing direct resources to families, and making sure that recovery reflects the needs and voices of the people who live there. For many, the journey to rebuild is just beginning, and the Black Freedom Fund is committed to being with them every step of the way. Stand with Dina. Donate by texting Black LA to the number 707070. That's Black LA to 707070. Together, we can help our neighbors rebuild their homes, lives, and hope. The Black Freedom Fund is proud to sponsor Conversation Live, Altadena Rising, with James Farr on KBLA, Talk 1580.
September is World Alzheimer's Month, a time to shine a light on a public health crisis that deeply impacts black families. 1 in 5 black adults ages 70 and older is living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD, and the risk is twice as high compared to white adults. But AD isn't just forgetting a name or losing track of time. Signs of early AD could be repeating questions, missing appointments, or struggling with bills and daily tasks. These things aren't a normal part of aging. Here's the good news. Treatments are available that may help if AD is diagnosed early. If you notice changes in memory or daily routines, whether in yourself or a loved one, don't wait. Early diagnosis and intervention are key to managing AD effectively. To learn more about AD and a potential treatment option, visit treatallsearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com to learn more about the signs and symptoms and a potential treatment option. This message is brought to you by AZI.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Just of note, though, streaming, cultural power, all of those things. If you were curious, Saweetie currently has 6 million streams on Spotify, 6 million listeners, 6.5 million, actually. Suki, less than 400,000. Now, I'm not saying that that has anything to do with authenticity, but I am saying that there seems to be some type of connection, right? We can't keep playing the authenticity Olympics, especially when we don't know what category we're slotting people into. Yeah, maybe. Shout out to Urban Spinster in the chat. She wants to discuss the Golden Globes. They have added a podcast category this year, and she has noticed that there are no black podcasts that are featured in the nominations. So the reminder is that the Golden Globes are voted on by international press. They're very little. They were taken to task a few years ago because of their lack of nominations of people of color in general in their main awards, Best Actor in a Comedy, blah, 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 those type of things. So the voting body of that are critics like myself, international ones, and there aren't a lot of black critics that are a part of the voting committee for that. So we'll see what develops, though, because podcasts are becoming one of the main communicators, right? And as we see Netflix getting into the podcast game, it's only going to expand and get bigger for some, not for all, for some. So we'll see what happens with that. Andy?
While the BET Awards, the Griot Awards, NAACP Awards, any black awards, they probably need to go ahead and have a podcast wing. Or
NAACP definitely has one.
They do? All
they
right,
do,
we need
and
to
they
hype
voted
that
one.
up.
Yep.
Bump the Golden Globes. I'm just saying.
I mean, and that's the thing. We've talked about this. When our award shows do something, we have to get just as hype for our people getting an Image Award, a BET Award, as we do for the Grammys and the Oscars. It doesn't hold the same prestige because we don't give it the same prestige.
All that begging, gotta stop. Bump that. If culture is created by us, why are we begging the others for validation?
I 100% agree with that. If they get on board, they get on board. But we have our own institutions, and we're always sad when these institutions fall by the wayside, but we don't support them when they're here. When's the last time you watched a show on BET?
I'm sorry, saying. BET is garbage now, though. Be honest with you.
Right, but if BET were to go away tomorrow, right, or if they hand everything off to Skydance and Paramount, right, how will we feel?
We would be upset.
So I'm saying that to say, I talk about this all the time when I worked at BET. People always say, Teen Summit. Why didn't you guys keep Teen Summit? I'm just using it as an example. Teen Summit, towards the end, didn't have the ratings. That's why Teen Summit didn't stay. Same with BET Nightly News. People weren't involved and engaged. Sometimes you got to let things work out the rough spots too.
Sounds like we have an issue with news and politics, at least at that time, and community type of content.
I think especially so obviously, not obviously, when I worked at BET in the mid 2000s. When did I work there? 2007, 2008, right? Reality TV is hitting big. As our tastes change, what we want to give our attention to and how so and what we want it to look like. The paradox that I always found at BET, especially when I was there, can't say now, is that they wanted to be all things to the black community instead of picking their lane and rolling it out and riding with it. Some people had a problem with BET Uncut Saturday night, Sunday gospel, Sunday morning.
Hey, that was an interesting dichotomy, though.
But isn't that the black existence?
It is.
Right? And so I think that what it did internally, right, is that there are some areas that I feel we should have been more, at the time, aggressive in or more forward thinking. I've said for a long time, shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop, although it is, somewhere in the Viacom family have moved, they wouldn't have lasted had BET put them out, because we would have criticized BET for showing our people in that light. However, when VH1 puts it out, we're right there supporting it, locked in, Bravo, etc., up on that every night. But if we at BET had put it out, when I was at BET, there would have been complaints. I was at BET when people were trying to show up to Deborah Lee's house because we took a website property and created a TV show around it and had Charlie Murphy hosting. That is Hot Ghetto Mess. So I just, when we do these things, right, and I'm not saying we're above reproach, that we can't be critiqued. I am just saying, keep in mind that your legacy properties are going to go through ebbs and flows. And there are going to be moments when they're not hitting the way that they used to or the way that we feel they should. And we still got to ride with them, critique with love, because when they go away, period, then we're always like, they're always taking stuff from us. They never want to let our stuff stand, and we don't hold up our end of the bargain sometimes.
So support by any means, period.
I just, if there are things that you really, really value, right, and BET Awards, for example, being one,
I'm with you.
Get your views in, support, share, do those little things. I'm not telling you to put up your own money to finance them, but if you have a note, we do put a lot on social media, but find an email address and send it to somebody. Do you know if you really feel that passionate about it? I'm just saying, we get really, really butthurt when our things go away, right? Where's the Ebony and Jet archive, photo archive right now?
I'm with you on that. I saw something on YouTube where it had me like, yo, we need to bring Jet magazine back, Ebony magazine back, excuse me.
Ebony is still there. They have a digital version. It is owned by Junior Bridgman's daughter, who recently passed away. Junior Bridgman is the former NBA player that was working at Wendy's, ended up buying all of those franchises and built up enough money so that he was able to buy the Ebony brand. His daughter is the chairwoman. But this is all I say. Again, I am not saying we are above reproach. I'm not saying we can't be critiqued. I am not saying that we should eat trash, because oftentimes people will say, oh, well, you can't criticize a black artist, person, thing. I am not saying that at all. But what I am saying is, if you value these things, you still got to put your eyeballs on them so that they stay.
That's real.
Because it's so easy for us to let things, move away.
Yeah.
Fahima in the chat says, remember, reality TV was an end product of the writer's strike of the 20th century. Once again, that writer's strike was in 2007, and it was cheaper. Reality TV is no longer the cheaper option. Please believe that there are some episodes of reality TV that are almost as expensive as an episode of scripted television.
Look. This is another reason why everybody that's listening, everybody that's watching, y'all need to tap into KBLA every single day from the morning all the way until nighttime. Because quite frankly, with this whole Project 2025 thing, I'm going to tell you, black media, I feel like, is under fire.
We are.
And we need y'all support, homie. So tell a friend, download the app, tap in.
Tap in, right? And give, hit your little thumbs up on YouTube. Do all of the things. Follow us. Let people know about us. We're here. We're real. We're encrusted into the community. I don't know if that's probably not the word I meant, but that's the word I'm going to use. Whatever. It works, right? It works now. Look, we'll talk about Lizzo tomorrow. Maybe not. That's a lie. We won't talk about Lizzo tomorrow. But tomorrow's going to be Front Row Wednesday to get you ready for the holidays. Eat good, cook good, tell me what you're cooking, all of that. Listen, I appreciate the conversation tonight. As always, make sure that you are locked in each and every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. for your trending topics and headlines with Jill Munroe. Coming up next, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. He is always, always, always going to be that little voice in the back of your head guiding you. We appreciate it. I'll check y'all out tomorrow.
The importance of a year, we're back to work. I took time off, all the rappers got jerked due to the fact they whack in their track. Have to go back and stack cause they lack the ingredients, EPMD and scratch for that. Yo, I'm the hip-hopper, plus the show shocker. Down with MD, yes, the microphone doctor. One Rex, the other the Swerge. And if you think you're ready to mess, kill the noise. We don't play when it's time to slay. I get a cut from my homie, yo. Then I lay back and mac and all the rhymes I pack. And wait for a sucker to jump and then attack.
Well, I'm known to be the master in the MC field. No respect in 87, 88, Chanel. Cause I produce and get loose when it's time to perform. Wax a sucker like Mop and Glow.
That's what it born.
It's back the second time, but on a different assignment to do a sucker new job.